Alright, so today I'm going to be doing a review on the Landyachtz Evo. This is the 2011 deck. It's the green one with the plants on the bottom. The deck runs, I think, for about $150 from the website. Some board shops have it varied prices. So the setup I actually got on here right now is pretty stock for the most part. I'm running the bare 852s, just standard bushings and everything. I've got my ABEC 11 flywheels. They're 75A, 76 millimeter. Bearings, I'm running Lucky ABEC 7 bearings on these. So about the board a little bit, it's primarily a downhill board, primarily why I got this. It's got a D-wedge tail and a wedge nose, and it's a drop deck. So what that means pretty much is that it's going to be really stable at high speeds, downhill board, racing board, so it's good for going fast. Other things I really like about it are the concave on it. It's pretty high concave around the edges, but it's actually flat where you really want your feet. Up here where your front foot is and right here where your back foot is, it's actually pretty flat, so you can actually fit your whole foot, and the concave edges run along the sides up here, and it works really well. It doesn't feel too awkward. When you first step on it, it might feel a little awkward for you, but you'll get the hang of it, get used to it, and comfortable with it once you start riding it. You can find all the specs for the board on the Landyachtz website. If you're watching this review, you probably already know what the specs are since you've been doing research for it. But the length of the board is going to be 41 inches. The width at its widest point is going to be 10 inches, and the wheelbase is going to be 35 3/4 inches. The board itself, the deck, is 11 plies of Canadian maple, so it's a pretty beefy deck, really thick, super sturdy. On the website it says no flex, but you know, every board has a little bit of flex. It's just the nature of physics. If you jump on something, it's going to give, but it's super stiff, really strong. I haven't had any issues with any like chipping or any kind of delamination of the deck. Super sturdy. You're not going to have any problems with the deck at all. I've actually had some friends run the nose into a curb pretty fast a few times, and it just hit the same spot every time. And it took a little chunk off, a little bit of wood off the top, but it's not splintering and nothing that I'm really too worried about. A cool feature with this, I really like the D-wedge tail on it, just because since you have the slope right here, you can use it any way you want. You can either put your foot down here, you can kind of lean it up against the tail, you can hang it over the tail. It's basically up to your preference of liking, but it's nice to have kind of a back plate to stick your foot on. Up here, it's really nice. You can get your foot way up close to the nose and have it leaning over, or have it hanging off any way you like it. Super comfortable, a lot of room on the deck. The concave edges are very high along the edges, but through the rest of the deck in the middle, it's flat. So you're not going to have any kind of uneven feeling or anything while you're standing on it. It's pretty flat. It feels like you definitely have enough room to put your feet on if you need to switch it around or maneuver around when you are riding. This board definitely is slidable and driftable. I've gotten a few little drifts in and stuff, even with these wheels I got on here. It's super predictable even when you're drifting and stuff. I've tried it for free riding, just for the hell of it. Really doesn't work out very well at all. It's too heavy for that. Board shape is not right, and the angle of the trucks makes it really not the right setup if you want to do that. But definitely good for drifting corners or getting you pre-drifts going and stuff if you're hitting a tight corner, and really predictable smooth turns. Since the trucks are at different angles, it's going to be steering mostly from the front of the board, so it makes it so it's a little bit more predictable when you're turning and stuff, kind of like a car, so it's not super twitchy. So it makes it a lot more stable, more predictable, and easier to ride at high speeds when it steers from the front. That's why the de-wedged tail and the wedged nose are super important, and riding it switch just does not work out as well. I'm really enjoying this board so far. I've had it for about 4 months. Been riding it consistently. I haven't really had any problems with it or noticed any issues with it. It is on the heavy side. It's not so much of a problem though. If you're planning to use it as a commuter board, it might not be kind of what you're looking for. It's not the best at carving because it's primarily for downhill racing, but it'll get the job done. It's pretty comfortable once you get used to it. It's super easy to push on since it's really low to the ground. You just don't want to go over any kind of speed bumps or something like that because you might just scrape it and it might throw you off the board. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a weight test, show you how much this weighs. Like I said, it's just the deck, the Bear 852s, 76mm flywheels, 75A. Let's put the deck right on there. Alright, so if you can see that, 10.1 pounds for the whole setup. So it is kind of a, like I said before, it is kind of a heavy setup, but for downhill it's not so much of an issue. If anything, it might be a little bit more beneficial to give you more momentum if you're going down steep hill. Obviously things that are heavier are going to roll down faster. It's actually not too bad though. I've taken this about probably upwards of 45 miles an hour down some hills. It kind of depends on the rider. People say that some boards never get speed wobbles, or certain setups you'll never get speed wobbles, when you can legitimately get speed wobbles on anything you ride. Part of it's your setup, the other part is the rider itself. But with this, I would say you're less prone to speed wobbles if you know how to control your board, just because it is dropped lower to the ground, making it more stable because it lowers your center of gravity. Also, you have like the wide kind of base to put your foot on, and it feels super comfortable when you're going really fast. It kind of is more wider at the nose, and it tapers down towards the tail, if you can see it. So it's not a symmetrical shape in terms of where you're actually putting your feet on. Alright, so I'll go over here. I'll give you a quick flex test to see how much flex it actually has. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a flex test here. I weigh about 135, so let's see how it does on here. See, not much flex. I'm jumping on it pretty good. Drawbacks I would see to this board, it's kind of based on your preference. Just the weight, it's not a super huge thing. It's just, it kind of sucks if you're going to try to use it as a commuter board or carrying it around, or you know, if you wanted to try to free ride, the weight is going to be a problem. The grip tape on it, it's not terrible, but it's not the best. Along the edges, like you'll find these sharp edges on the side, the grip tape will actually start to come off and peel, and I haven't flipped the board at all or anything. It's just after normal wear and tear, it's going to eventually just start to pick up and peel off, which it's not a super huge deal. It's kind of peeled off on both sides, just because the grip tape comes to the very edge of the deck, and it's a pretty sharp edge on the side. If you wanted something else, you know, I'd probably go with like vicious grip tape, but I'm just waiting for this to wear out and swap it out afterwards. If you want to check out any videos of this board in action, you can actually go to my YouTube channel page. There's, you know, a handful of videos up there. You can see me riding this deck. There's actually some up there with a loaded dervish as well, and some other stuff. So if you want to see this board in action, definitely go check out my YouTube channel. A few videos up there you can go check out. Alright, so just as kind of like a final verdict for this board, I absolutely love it. It's an awesome board. I ride it all the time. I don't really have any major issues with it. It's all around just an amazing ride. Landyachtz is just a great company. They make great products, really quality products. I haven't had any issues with any of the stuff they put out. deck is super strong, super durable. That's kind of like a standard for Landyachtz decks because they are super thick. They're maple woods, really high quality. They make great products. Absolutely love them. Give it a try. You can go to your local board shop if you are uncertain about it. Go ask them. Just you can stand on the deck or ride it around the store or whatever. But if you're into downhill racing, even if you're not trying to race and you just like going down hills or you want something that's stable, this is definitely the setup to go for, or this deck. It's really amazing, super stable, comfortable to ride with. It's comfortable to carve with. Not if you're looking for more of a carving board, I wouldn't necessarily go for this, but it gets the job done. It still can carve pretty well, but it's great for high speeds if you're planning to get any downhill type of stuff and you don't want to risk eating it or whatever from some really high up board like a Sector 9 that sits way off the ground. I can roll this board under some Sector 9s. It's so low. Great board though. Trucks, this is probably personally my favorite kind of trucks. Really reliable trucks. I haven't had any problems with them. And these wheels, I didn't really know too much about wheels when I first bought them. These are kind of just the things. I was like, oh, I'll just go with these because I've seen a lot of people have them. They're great wheels though. I have no issues with them. They're really grippy, 75As, so you can hit corners pretty tight and you'll definitely stick to the ground. If you're looking for something a little bit more drifty, you can always get a higher durometer wheel. Or there's so many wheels out there you can pick, pretty much anything else that would suit your needs for what your intentions of riding the board are. But overall, Landyachtz Evo, it's an amazing board. I love it. If you're looking for anything downhill, or even if you're just cruising around or you want something different, I would definitely check this deck out. $150 from their website. It's an amazing ride. You definitely will not regret buying this deck. Thank you.